My name's Melissa. I started in the rescue world. My friend used to walk dogs at Stray Rescue, and she knew I was missing my dog from back home, so she asked me to go with her. And then I started walking dogs on my own, and then I started doing adoption events, and I started coordinating adoption events, and then my roommate and I found out about this 4-week-old puppy and his sister who were going to be basically thrown away if they weren't out of this person's house by that night. And so we had about a 4-second conversation, and we decided to rescue him. And then a few months, 6 months later about, I think, we decided to get our first foster, and it's been 3 years, and we've had like 70 plus fosters, something like that.
My name's Courtney. I got started rescuing dogs when I was in college. I had a dog growing up, and she died when I was like 6. But then later down the line, we got another dog, and one day it just clicked that dogs were kind of my thing. I started training police canines, and then taking dogs from Craigslist and getting them vaccinated, and then adopting them out myself.
How did you get started with Stray Rescue specifically?
Well, my friend Sherry introduced me to Stray Rescue, and I guess I introduced you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was doing adoption events every Saturday and Sunday pretty much, and I'd always come home and tell her about all the dogs.
We ended up getting Mohawk, our first dog. The owner was breeding pit bulls, and I guess the last litter he just wanted to get rid of really fast, really quickly. So we got Mohawk, and then his sister Sasha went to my cousin, and we've had Mohawk ever since. And then Melissa came to our apartment one day talking about Stray Rescue. We moved off campus, moved into our own apartment, and then we started fostering. Got our first foster dog, Yamaha.
Explain what foster failure is.
Basically what happens is you adopt your foster instead of finding it a home elsewhere.
So how many foster failures do you have right now?
3.
3.
3.
Yes.
But they were really quick. I mean, we had Jagger all of 2 seconds.
Jagger was, yeah.
It was it.
They had to carry Jagger out to the car, and he just licked my hand the whole way home, and I got home, and I was like, we're keeping him, and Courtney said no. And then the next day, she's like, we're keeping him. I was like, I know.
What is the importance of adopting versus buying a dog from the breeder?
Well, it's important to adopt because there are hundreds of thousands of dogs in shelters and rescues across the whole country that have been let down by humans and abused by humans, and they need homes because if they stay in shelters, they could be put down, and it's not their fault.
I believe it's important to adopt because, just like Melissa's saying, there are thousands of dogs in shelters.
Good dogs.
Yeah, good dogs, great dogs. And it's not even, a lot of people have the misconception that they're just adult dogs in shelters or older dogs in shelters, and that's not the case at all. I mean, we've gone through, we're puppies.
We're
puppy fosters. And we went through tons of litters of puppies because a shelter took in a pregnant mom, and we have the puppies after they're weaned from the moms. There are tons of dogs. You find so many purebred dogs, and that's another misconception. Yeah, people think that they're not going to find purebred dogs in shelters, and there are tons of them.
We've had dachshunds in rescue. We've had Chihuahuas.
Yeah,
like all these dogs that purebred dogs that they get given up too.
Yeah, all the time.
They need homes too.
And people just don't know that that's available to them. So I don't know how we can really go out to the community and express to them that, hey, this is actually available to you in shelters. You know, people think that the shelter dogs are just damaged dogs, damaged goods, and so they want to go ahead and buy a purebred dog from a breeder. But most of the time, if you look at the breeders, a lot of them, especially backyard breeders, they're not licensed. They don't have actual purebred dogs from good bloodlines. I mean, what are you actually going to use that dog for? So that's a common misconception. Then you have designer dogs that these breeders have, and
there's designer dogs in shelters.
And those designer dogs are mutts.
You just have to look for them. I know there's I think there's a golden retriever rescue here in St. Louis.
Yeah. So we have, I mean, there are a ton of different options that people just don't know. People don't know what to look for.
As for people looking for puppies, you generally cannot go into a rescue and see puppies, but they have
At a rescue,
them.
right? You won't see it at the actual rescue.
Most
the shelter.
rescues try to get puppies into foster homes so that they learn how to socialize with humans and with other dogs and everything. So you just have to ask. If you're looking for a purebred puppy, you're not going to go in and find one. A lot of times you don't even make it onto the website because they get adopted so quickly. So you just, if you're looking for a puppy, you just got to ask.